So anyway, you got to have a halftime report, and it is halftime in the F1 season, and it's time for Freddie B's halftime grades for our drivers. I'm going to give every driver a grade, and I'm not going to do it based on where they are in the standings. I'm going to do it based on the opportunities they had and the potential that they are showing. That way, if you're on a suck team, it doesn't necessarily impact your score. So let's start from the top, and these are Freddie B's pathetic grades for the drivers. First, Max Verstappen. We're going to give him an A, maybe an A minus, I don't know, but not an A plus. He hasn't won absolutely everything. But what would you expect from Max? Nothing less than perfection should go. On the other side of the scale with Red Bull, I'm going to give Checo a D. Guy's not living up to his potential. I think the pressure is getting to him. If it were me, Checo, if I were you, I might look for another team or maybe another series. I don't know. But here's the funny thing. You know what? Audi would buy you. Audi would like you. So maybe you ought to consider talking to them, is just my thought. Lance Norris, another one. He's going to get an A. I'll tell you what, he's really starting to show his potential. His racecraft is getting better. He's learning how to win, which is so important in Formula One. Remember, three things. Got to go fast, got to learn how to race, got to learn how to win. And Lance Norris is certainly getting there. His teammate Oscar Piastri, B+. B+, got to do a little bit better with tire management. And I think even Oscar didn't really feel that big hug of love when he was given that race to win. I still don't quite understand it. I understand it from a team orders standpoint, but if you are faster on the track, that's where your race should be won. Leave it to McLaren, though, to not know racecraft and to screw up somebody's race, and they screw up Oscar's 2 races ago. Lewis gets an A. Lewis Hamilton's the 7-time world champion. He makes the best with what he has, and it's proven he's not phoning it in on his way to Ferrari next year with a fabulous Silverstone British Grand Prix race, which was awesome. His teammate George B, doing great. Mercedes screwed him over in that last race. It was really a shame. George drove a great race. He is not an inconsequential driver, but it's like nobody talks about him. But I'm giving him a B for the first half of the season. Charles Leclerc, Ferrari, giving him a C. Why? He should be better than he is. With all the hype that Charles Leclerc gets, he should be better than he should be better than Carlos Sainz. He should be better than Lewis Hamilton. Everybody points that he's supposed to be better, and he's not. Carlos, on the other hand, I'm going to give him a B because he's got all the skills, and he's on a team that is not paying attention to him. Because he's leaving, they're giving all the attention to Charles Leclerc, yet he is still performing at a very high level. Let's go to Haas. Magnussen, I'm going to give him a C. Expensive mistakes, but flashes of brilliance. But he's getting a C this year. Hulkenberg, however, a good B. He is showing that you can take a mediocre car and have flashes of greatness. I really expect him to really be, maybe not next year, but in the next 3 years, I think he might be something in Formula One. He's certainly not going to be a backmarker. Alex Albon, he gets a B. I'll tell you what, mostly because he's got the best looking girlfriend in F1. That is why. And here she is. And I think she's gorgeous. Sargent, C. Now here's a guy, he's running the string out. He knows he doesn't have a ride next year. There's not a single Formula One team going, maybe we'll get Logan Sargent. But I'm hoping he goes to Prima Racing in the Indy Racing League. So if you're listening to me, Prima, I think you wouldn't be bad. First of all, his uncle is a billionaire. So he can bring money to the team. Secondarily, he has the skills. I think he's got the skills that he was never really able to exploit. I think one of the reasons, I think he was called up too early, and that happens a lot like in pro football. People get called up too early. Alonso a B, Fernando Alonso, and it's probably, he would have gotten an A, except his attitude's getting to him, and I understand it. He is very frustrated with his team, and conversely, Lance Stroll is my other person getting a D, because although he can show some great racing ability every once in a while, his entitlement mentality almost permeates through him. And I don't think he's that way, but it is that way. So I could be wrong. I want to be wrong. I want him to do well, and I don't think it matters how much money. Everybody's got money in F1. Okay, it's nice when your dad owns the team, though. Okay, Pierre Gasly I'm going to give him a B. He's done okay with crappy equipment, but he has shown that with good equipment he can drive. He knows how to drive the car. Esteban Ocon, I'm going to give him a C. I think he'll lose a little sense of his entitlement because I think he was like, even though he came from a totally different background than Lance Stroll, he felt like he belonged there, which he does, but almost like it was owed him. And I think that's gone away. I'm happy that he's going to Haas. I think I'm a big Haas fan. We'll see how well he does with Haas and Oliver Burman next year as we move forward. Valtteri Bottas, B. He's got a car that just can't get out of its own way. He's probably a bit complacent. He's probably a little worried about his future. I'd like to see him go back to Mercedes for 1 year. Kimi Antonelli come in as a reserve driver, and then Kimi comes in 2027. New car, new rules, and Bottas gets a chance to go out with a great team. I think he might even win a race if he went back to Mercedes-Benz. He's got a B for me so far. Zhou Guanyu, a C. Again, he's putting in his time. He's looking. He's mentioned, hey, I'll be a backup driver. I don't blame him. I want him to have the freedom that he needs. That Formula One is affording him, because I don't want him to have to go back to China and eat dirt. Of course, he never will, but you know what I mean. It's China. Yuki Tsunoda, last driver I'm going to give you an A. I'll tell you what, he does more with so little. His attitude, he has changed so much from last year. He's matured so much. Yuki's gets an A. Daniel Ricciardo, C, because C stands for inconsistent. Daniel can be brilliant one day, not so brilliant the other. He's not living up to the hype. And you know what? He may be at risk of losing a seat. So there you have it. Freddie B's grades for the drivers for this year's Formula One season. Thank you so much. Please subscribe if you like. Put in the comments if you would. Tell me how you'd rank them if you like. And let me know if I made any mistakes. I really appreciate it. Again, subscribe. Freddie B. See ya. Ta-ta. Freddie.